I am Fridge. Welcome to the last part of World War III, and also episode 60 of War of Civilization Start Over. At the end of the last episode, we saw the return of 3 different countries, those being the original green country over here, the grey country, or Cyprus, the Cyprus Empire over here, which Cyprus did exist, but now their empire is back. And also we saw Caucasia unite to bring back the Caucasian Empire, or as it is now known as the Caucasian Union. So, with the return of these countries, the war has gotten even better, even more likely for the fascists to win. But anyways, let's get on with the fighting. And the fighting will be starting out over here, where the terrorists are having more success in this area now, with this terrorist group going out and taking all this. They also connect up with the main area here, and they take a lot of this land pretty quickly, as this country here has become very weak from this war, and we see more and more terrorist areas pop up. This one popping up in these 3 major cities here, and pretty close to the capital as well. So with this country's going to have to deal with that. So they pull a lot of their troops back to come deal with that, sending it into here, and they take back this major city, but the terrorists are really hard to fight. They also send some in over here. However, the terrorists, or this country here isn't actually, well, they do terrorist things, but they more so were funding the terrorist groups. I don't know how to explain it really, but they reach up with this terrorist group over here, and together they get rid of these troops here. They also take this major city here, and they reach over towards this major city, now taking it, along with this major city, and they start pushing towards the capital, which is not good. Along with that, over here, the terrorists are popping back up, and they push the troops almost completely out of this area. The capital is now captured, and this country will soon collapse over to the terrorist country, as I call them, because they are built on terrorism. But that country is now gone, and now this country borders more terrorists, or they border more fascists, who now are no longer fighting another country, which is not good for them. Speaking of which, the fascists are pushing further up now. All of Belka's troops have been sent, or basically all of them have been sent over here now, so they start to push and have a lot of success in this area. And in fact, they push down here, and they go in from behind these troops here and start to attack them. And they'll run over to the coast in hopes to get saved. However, they are not, and they are all captured and killed. And those who are captured are also probably killed. They're probably being sent to, like, concentration camp things. Anyways, over here, they'll reach up and take this major city successfully, as the 3rd strongest country in the world is beginning to fall. And along with that, over here, they border more fascists, who will also reach down, as they used to own this land, and they might want it back, and they take this area here. They're mostly focusing on these other countries, like you, for example, who they reach up to the nuked capital, and they surround it, and they head in, a lot of their troops dying from the radiation, but they find any bunkers here, break in, and kill anyone in them. Meanwhile, up here, these troops are also having some success from this country here, which I'm going to have to change the color afterwards because it's too close to the Caucasian Union, but they are having some success over here. And they reach down here now. Meanwhile, this country here, they are also in the war against the dark red country, but they are also going to die, as their capital is taken pretty quickly, and this country falls soon after. Also, this country has no nukes anymore. I should erase that. I forgot to fix the nukes, but you have no nukes, so say goodbye to that number there, because you use them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Meanwhile, up here, the Caucasian Union, they are going to get some of their old land back by pushing into this country here and taking this major city pretty quickly. They used to own, I think they used to own this country, or at least part of it, so they're going to walk in and take back their land. This country was kind of focused dealing with over here, speaking of which this is going to lead to them getting pushed out over here. And soon after, this country will fall. But the troops don't stop there, no. They then proceed to start their own invasion of this area here. Fix that. They start their own invasion of this area over here, walking in and taking this major city pretty quickly, killing some troops, but most of the troops are over here defending the capital because, well, the Yellow country is here, and they are getting right outside the capital. They also take this major city over here, and down here we see the fascists, Greece country, start to invade this area here as they push up, and they also take this major city here. Meanwhile, they continue their push into the actual Greece, now taking this major city, and the actual Greece, they're going to go ahead, and they are going to use their nukes as they drop a lot of their nukes onto the capital of the fascist Greece. In fact, they drop not one but 3 different nukes over here. And that is because they don't want to nuke these two cities. These were major cities. One of these used to be their capital. But over here, this city here, in fact, the entire island, just has always just been a fascist. Like, fascist since Greece turned fascist. Like, when the rest of Greece rebelled during World War II, the Crete stayed with them. So they dropped 3 different nukes on Crete City. And they also will drop some nukes on some military bases. One over here. But that's 4 of their nukes gone, and the rest are about to get taken by the fascists. As, well, not fascists, but an ally of the fascist country, the Yellow country here, has reached down to them, cutting this part of the Grey country off, and there is a lot of troops over here who will now be killed. And the Grey country is not looking very good. Same thing with Greece, as the fascists reach up to the capital, and the Yellow country is also getting to their capital now. And the capital will be taken, along with this major city here, and Greece will fall over to the Cross Alliance. Over in Italy, at the end of the episode, Italy suffered, or the United Roman States, as this country is called, suffered this area up here breaking away, and they are not going to risk losing this, as they send their troops into this other area. And they are getting close to the capital. Now they are being supplied by another country, as I said in the last episode. However, they will also get pushed back a little bit, but not much, as this country has become really weak after suffering not one but two breakaways. Along with that, this country over here, they are not involved in this war, but they will take a chance to go up here and take Sicily. Green France has taken this province now, and they are also going to start a push into this country here, taking this province here, which is not good for this country, as them taking this province will lead to the stalemate between them and the orange country here being broken, as the orange country pushes up and takes all this province. They will successfully push the Dutch out, but that's because the Dutch have other problems. That being the fact that Wales has now taken all of their area over here, and also destroyed their navy. And is planning another landing, this time inside of the Dutch. Along with that, the Dutch are losing a lot of land over here to the Heart Alliance, as Ag pushes further in, now taking all of this province here, and Germany is also pushing in, taking this land over here. And the Nordic Union is getting pretty close to the capital. In fact, they are outside of it now, and they are about to push in. Meanwhile, up here, Scotland, things not going well for them, as they have been completely pushed out of Wales now. And Wales is about to invade them, and invade them they do, pushing in and pushing up to the capital, where they will take it before they push over to this major city and take it. And following this, we will see this area surrender. These islands, this island is taken, however the other island will be occupied by the Nordic Union. Wales is starting a plan to take back their part of Iceland and take this part of Iceland. Meanwhile, over here, with more and more troops coming up here now that this area is basically dealt with. In fact, let's just finish this area off, as the yellow country pushes in, takes these major cities here, and the grey country goes ahead and falls there. One more troops are going to be sent over to these fronts now, and we will see over here, these troops get pushed out, while over here, this country falls, and a new push begins into this country over here, with them getting pushed into by these troops now, as they take this major city here and push over towards this major city. I don't think they ever owned this land, but hey, more land is more land. There's also a push in over here, taking this major city, and they start a push towards the capital. This country's only joined because of Crimea, who left the war, so they, after the capital is captured and a few other battles, they will go ahead and surrender. Meanwhile, up here, with the yellow team troops now heading up here, Estonia is starting to lose as they get pushed back to the border, and Latvia is also starting to lose, and the Nordic Union is going to need to start sending more troops over here. Meanwhile, down here, their allies over here are starting to lose, as the green country has now pushed over to and captured the capital of the blue one, and also pushed over and captured this major city. And things are not going well for them. Meanwhile, up here, the green one is also, with help from the yellow country and also this purple country over here, is destroying this purple country as they get close to the capital over here. The navy of this country here, Madagascar, has been destroyed. And if that wasn't bad enough, there's a rebellion happening in the north. This being a rebellion that wants to bring back the democratic country that used to be here. In fact, I'm pretty sure the fascist rebellion also started up here. So apparently this area here just like starting rebellions. As this area breaks away and joins up with the well, they don't join up with this country here, this alliance over here. They just are fighting. But it's not good for Madagascar, as well. In the south, Alani has just been made, which quickly captures this major city here, and starts to push up this way, capturing this major city now. And Madagascar is crying as they are dying. Actually, they moved over here, and that got captured by the rebels, so the leader, in fact, is just thrown into the ocean and dies, and Madagascar falls. So Madagascar is out of the war now, which means that the war in Africa is over, I guess. Over here, though, things are not going well for this pink country as the fascists push up to the capital and capture it. They also push and take this major city here. And this country is basically dead as they fall over to the fascists. And now the fascists can focus more on the democracy over here, which is not good for them, as they are getting pushed further into now. And they have some help from Taiwan, but Taiwan has to deal with a way stronger opponent, that being Korea, who is destroying them, and has pushed them back to their border in just a few months after the fall of Chinese cheese, or the Third Chinese Empire. Also, they're the same color as this country now. That will be fixed after the war. Just ignore that for now. But now a push is going to happen into Taiwan as... Okay, apparently it wants to be the same color. Let's fix that. As they enter into Taiwan and start to take this land here. They push and take this major city pretty quickly. And also they take this major city, and Taiwan is dying right now as they lose more and more land. And in fact, they are going to get pushed all the way back to just the island, which Korea really doesn't see much of a point of invading. Taiwan, they push through and meet up with the border of Vietnam. And now the push into Vietnam can begin by the fascists from two different sides now. In a way, Vietnam is kind of actually an original member of the Heart Alliance, or actually, as they were part of the South Asian Union, which collapsed, or Southeast Asian Union was the name, and the Southeast Asian Union, I'm pretty sure, was part of the Heart Alliance. Actually, that could be a lie. I don't think they were. I think they were just like allied. Like, they weren't part of it, but they held good relations with the members of it. Anyways, though, this country here just pushes through the radiated areas, takes this major city. Meanwhile, Lanny's made over here, takes the capital, and soon after, this country falls. And with that, the war in this part of Asia is over. There's still the war happening in this part of Asia, but now a lot more troops are going to be sent over here, so Persia, things not looking good for you. Maybe it's time to use some of those nukes. Maybe drop one on the pink country. Maybe just fire them all around. This country here has completely fallen over. And over here, the capital has been captured. And all the nukes have been stolen as well now. And afterwards, these countries start to push further in. with them pushing up here and taking this major city here. And they take this major city here, and Turkey, Macedonia, your time has come to end as they fall over to their invaders. And with that, all of the troops down here can be sent up to deal with this area now, which is going to lead to this country getting completely taken by the fascists, or I even calling them the fascists. These two countries here, the green one here and the yellow one here, and also this purple one up here, these are not fascists, they're just allied with fascist countries. But they now, Germany is kind of in danger now, and it might be time for them to think about leaving this war. However, good things for the Hard Alliance. The capital of the Dutch has just been taken. However, following the capture of the Dutch's capital, something's going to happen. A country, or a part of a country, has had a massive wave of nationalism, and they are looking at history, and they realize that they used to have not just their own country, but their own empire many years ago now, like 1,000 years ago now. They had their own empire, and these people think maybe it's time for that empire to return. As we see inside of the Nordic Union, inside of Denmark, the Danish will rebel, declare independence, and they want to bring back the Danish Empire that existed like 1,000 years ago now. As these people, they look at history and see how big they are. Now, today, they don't even have their own country. And it's not just them. Inside of Germany, some of these provinces along here also want to join up. As we see these northern provinces go ahead and join this, with these few here joining. And in the Dutch, in fact, some of the people here see this. These two provinces over here used to belong to. In fact, I think more provinces used to belong to the Danish. But these two provinces, the people here, are going to join, and also they wanted the troops of the Nordic Union out anyways. So, with this, there's a new problem for the Nordic Union to deal with, and if that wasn't bad enough, the Welsh have made a landing on Iceland and are pushing these troops out, taking back Iceland. As they push in, and they take their part, before they push into the northern part, taking this area here, and into this part here, taking it. And Wales has completely taken Iceland now. And if that wasn't bad enough, this green country over here sees a chance to get some land, as they send their troops that just walk into this area here, because, well, there was no one here, because, well, first of all, it's ice. Second, actually, there's a major city there, some people live here, apparently, but it wasn't being defended, so they just walk in, they just start taking these islands, or more so, going on boats, but the water's probably frozen, so yeah, they take this. Meanwhile, over here, Lithuania, or not Lithuania, Latvia is pushed into and falls pretty quickly. And the push begins into Estonia. That's way too big, but with them quickly losing this major city here, and Estonia's dying right now. Back over here, this naval battle is going well for the red team, as they have destroyed the navy of Persia, and most of Persia's troops over here, so following this, the red team will make a landing over here and start to push into this area, taking this major city here, and they take a lot of this land pretty quickly, taking this major city now, and they start to push down towards the capital now, and also this major city over here, taking this major city. And Persia is in a bad spot, as more and more Korean troops start to arrive here now. And we see this area here start to push. Long tool. Start to push along this way as they slowly push. And the battles here are long, deadly, a lot of casualties, but they push up. And after a lot of fighting, the Battle of this city happens, which lasts over a month. And then they push over to the capital. And they start to enter into the capital. When the Persians, they find where they expected the leader to be. They kill the leader, but the leader had one last plan. After the leader dies, a nuke goes off in the capital, following which nukes start to fall all over this area that is currently occupied by them, killing a lot of their troops, and also killing a lot of Persian citizens. This is going to lead to the rest of the Persia being like, whoa, 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 whoa. I thought that, why are you nuking areas that belong to us, that have our citizens in them? I know that there's fascist troops in there, but that is not cool. And the citizens realize that Persia and communism as a whole is just a massive lie. The leaders don't actually care about the people. They just care about power. And when they lose that power, they just decide to destroy their own countries. This is going to lead to the people of Persia deciding to pull out of the war. And they don't care what's going to happen to them afterwards. They think that Persia needs to go now. They just are mad. Meanwhile, up here, things not going well for this country as they also fall. And with that, I think that all of the communist countries are out of the war. Unless I'm forgetting someone. Let me see. Koiki. Royal capital was captured. Soon after, you will fall. With this area here falling over to you, and the rest falling over to you. Now these countries can start killing each other. You still exist, but you might be the one to get out if you're lucky. In fact, this country over here, they see that they've taken a province, and they're fine with that. And they're going to go ahead and leave the war, seeing that there's no way for either they can stay in and die, or they can leave now. I think that's it, other than the Dutch, who are probably going to die, as a landing is going to get made by the Welsh in this major city here, which is taken, and they start to push along here. Meanwhile, inside of here, they continue to pushing and taking this major city here, and pushing to the capital, which they take from Brittany. And Brittany, your time has come to die, as after some more fighting, Brittany will fall, leaving them dead. Yeah. And then a push happens into here, taking this major city here, and the Dutch is dying as well. And over here, a rebellion will break out, following which the Dutch will die. I mean, there's no way they survive this, that they're dead. Meanwhile, over here, we will see this area here, break away. I don't like that color. I'll make it a different color. Break away. And things are not looking good, as the Nordic Union is watching their allies die. I mean, egg still exists, but not, and also this country still exists, but not for long. As with the fall of Persia, all of the fascists are on their way over here. And over here, we will see a landing get made. As they land over here and start to push up, these being all the fascist countries at this point, as they push along here, start taking this land. Meanwhile, this country here pushes down, takes the capital over here, following which this country will die to the fascists. Why is this? Okay. And now, it's Egg's turn to die. And also Germany's turn to die, as these troops start to push into these countries here. So we see troops enter Egg over here. And they start pushing in. They take this major city pretty quickly and they start pushing to the capital. And once they get outside the capital, they enter in. Soon after, Egg will surrender, seeing this war as a massive loss. And over here, the fascists push in over here. Well, this is mostly the fascist allies. And they push up and take this major city here. And Germany is also starting to die, as this major city is taken, following which the capital will fall. And Germany is out of the war. So that just leaves like the Nordic Union and their allies down here, and also these two countries here. Over here, things aren't going well for them, as the capital of Goikias now belongs to this country here. They're pushed all the way over to here. And once they are pushed to just this area here, Yugo and Port are going to make the decision to leave the war. So now, it's just, also this country up here still exists. Well, not for long. Estonia, your time has come to die. As they push through Estonia, they take this major city here. They take this major city here. And they push over here, taking all of this land as well. They make a landing in the capital, take it, following which this country will fall. And now it's just the Nordic Union and the allies who are on the other side of the world from them. Up here, their prison is going to go ahead and rebel. So they rebel, and also just realized these islands belong to nobody. Ignore that. Which, I mean, that's not the worst thing ever for the Nordic Union, but, we will see over here, with help from the Danish rebels, the fascists will enter over here and slowly start to push, taking this major city now. And the Nordic Union saw what happened with Persia when they nuked themselves, so they just decided, you know what, there's no point in using our nukes, it'll just lead to us falling faster, as they lose another major city and are pushed to the capital, because now the Nordic Union is the strongest country in the world, so even though they're by themselves, they still can have some success, as they can slow down the troops. Over here, though, there is another invasion beginning, as the troops of the Cross Alliance enter over here, taking this major city. These ones don't have as much fighting to do, but there's still some fighting going on. But they will push through here, taking a lot of this Finnish land. And they'll push out towards this major city and capture it. They also capture this major city. And things are not going well for the Nordic Union as the fascists continue to push up from over here. They also make another landing over here and capture this city here, which I'm pretty sure used to be the capital of Norway. And they also push along here, and they get outside the capital here. They'll push in and capture the capital, following which there'll be some more fighting with some more of these major cities getting captured, but after a lot of fighting, after like a few more months of fighting, the Nordic Union is looking something like this over here, and over here, like, all of Finland has fallen. And the North Union, what is left of it, will go ahead and surrender. Just leaving these areas down here. And the countries fighting with the Cross Alliance will all meet. And they will make the decision to offer these two countries a chance to live, as one of the countries proposes the idea to just let Madagascar die, they were useless anyways, and let these countries live if they agree to it. And one of these countries that was fine with the Cross Alliance will meet with one of the countries still alive down here. You can theorize about who you think it is. And they'll meet with them in secret and convince them to take the deal, as these countries down here that are still alive all agreed to this. And with that, the war ends, and all the countries will meet over here inside of this major city here to discuss the peace treaty. Why this major city? I don't know, I just chose it. I don't think this major city even has a name, but they meet in that major city inside of the Red Team to discuss the peace treaty of this war. And that is where World War III and this video will end. In the next episode, you will see the peace treaty of the war. The map's going to look a lot different, that's what I can say for sure. Also, one last thing. Leaders of this country are announced dead. So that's what everyone thinks, but the leaders of the North Union actually are going to be allowed to live in just Iceland. They might be able to keep a few of these islands, but most of them are probably going to be given over to this country here and maybe this new country over here. But for some reason, the leaders, when the capital was captured, they agreed to let the North Union die as long as they could survive in Greenland. Why do they want Greenland so badly? I don't know. Well, a few things. For starters, there is some technology here that gave the eggs, led to them making nukes, and who knows, maybe there's some other technology there. But you have to wait till later to find out. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.